Hey everybody, it's V. How you doing? I thought I would do one of these type of videos that I like to do now and then, and that's just a straight prospector run. Exactly how you do it kind of every day when you're mining in Star Citizen in 323 1 right now. So let's go ahead and get started this morning. I am going to be taking the prospector that's a little more low energy. I have a couple different prospectors. Both of them have the 48 SCU mole bags on them. This particular one, I just to kind of go over the loadout, I don't have a whole lot going on. I do have a little bit of an upgraded power plant. I do have a little bit of an upgraded cooler and updated shields. The Atlas drive is probably the most important thing to point out here, though. A little bit better drive upgraded here. The other thing that I have on this particular prospector, I have the Hofstede size 1 with the Rieger C3. This is actually a super comfortable. It's not you don't have the most energy, you don't have the most braking power, but I'll tell you, as far as anything that you find, and especially on those secondary brakes that are in your wheelhouse, so usually pretty easy to actually brake. So this is kind of one that I think is enjoyable. The other one that I have has the Helix and a couple of Focus 3s on it, and that one is great. It's capable of cracking more rocks, but I thought I would just take the little easier one out today. So let's go ahead and turn off that chat. Let's go ahead and pull this prospector. Off we go, hangar 1. So I'm just gonna, do what I would normally do, which is just head over to the surface of Cellin. I kind of rotate between Cellin and Yella hangar 1 right now, and primarily because the size of the rocks, the rock mass index is very friendly. At those two places, a 1 and 3, I think they're both 1 and 3, or one of them's a 1 and 3, one of them's a 1 and 4. Pretty solid mass index there. Also, the secondary mixer, which is either be aluminum or titanium, is pretty important. You tend to find if you have, when you have like a aluminum that's like a 0.7 cluster value, or you have titanium, which is a 0.9 cluster value, it makes a huge difference when you're breaking rocks with one of those two in it. You get a little better purity along those lines. So, let's just go ahead and see what the day brings. I'm going to go ahead and I'm in nav flight now. I am going to try, while this thing's opening, I probably will try at least see if I can sometimes you cannot target Crusader from the sometimes you can. See how it says obstructed? If you have that from CRUL1, don't panic. It's just, you just have to fly a little lower. You get out of the hangar. It's the station that's kind of obstructing it. So up we go. Gear up. I am in nav flight right now, and that's gonna be, that's kind of gonna be where we're gonna be until we arrive at our location to mine. So this is what I was talking about. You always kind of want to dive to the bottom of the station. That's what I normally do, is come down here and then go ahead and then search for Crusader at that point. And you generally don't have any problem routing to it at that point, and off you go. So you got to switch over to nav QTM and get ready to bounce over towards Crusader. And here we go. And off we go. Give me an opportunity to sip a little coffee this morning. It's Saturday morning. It's a little bit overcast day in northern Michigan. Beautiful day to go mining. Wonderful coffee. And yeah, we're going to head towards the Crusader system. And then we're going to drop out of Quantum at some point before we get to Crusader, and we're going to navigate towards Cellin, and we're probably going to just go right down to the surface of Cellin. So that ought to be fun. One of the things some people don't necessarily know, that when you're approaching a system, you actually oh, that's the RUL1. What am I doing there? Oh no. You actually can come out of Quantum before you actually get to Crusader. You don't have to finish this. You have to get within 80. And once you're inside 80, here, and you can see I'm going down 1, and I'm right underneath 80 now. I can come out of Quantum at this point. I can actually then just pull this thing back up. I can say Cellin. Well, for some reason I almost put Walla there for a minute. And just head right towards it, which is really great. You don't have to get near the big mass of Crusader and kind of get lost in trying to find a OM marker or something to get out of there. Sometimes you're a little too close to Cellin or Crusader sometimes, and it's difficult to navigate around it. So I always like to kind of stop before I get there, shake it up a little bit, and then just head directly towards either Daymar, Yella, or Cellin. So we're heading towards Cellin this time. Now, all I'd really like to do is find something that's not too around the other side of the planet. So far, okay, maybe right there. No. Wow. Okay, this is going to be kind of interesting. Hicks is there, huh? Sometimes you can find something that's like 100 or 128 or something, but not this time. So, what is this? Oh boy, Kriska's there. Oh heavens! All right, well, I am not seeing a great option, so let's just do the one option that we don't normally do, which is just cruise on down. I haven't done this in a while. Normally there's something that's, maybe 128 or 2. I don't want to go to the other side of the planet. I like to mine on the... Definitely, my preference is to mine the light side of the, of Cellin. And that's because when you mine at night, you can be seen for... First of all, your headlights can be seen for, but your mining lasers also can be seen for, just an incredible amount of time. So, we're gonna kind of... I've got this thing pinned, and we'll kind of get out of it. We'll take it back to nav flight, and we're gonna cruise on in here. This is gonna be kind of interesting. Like I said, I don't normally do this. But let's kind of enjoy it together. Heading right down in. It's funny. Alright. Yeah, so we're going to come down here. Now, what we're looking for is Quantanium, obviously, would be great. But we're looking for Bexalite, Taranite, or gold. I like to... Your goal is always around 40% for that tier 1 resource. Of course, it's always nice to find a double tier 1. Sometimes you can find something that's got 26 or 27% Taranite and 26 and 27% Bexalite. Those are always kind of fun as well. So we're kind of getting closer. We're getting closer here. I'm gonna kind of pivot on in, and occasionally it's fun to drop in like this. I don't do it that often. It's been a while since I've done it, and when we're cruising, we're definitely hauling backside here. All right, so now's the time I need to start kind of thinking about bellying up a bit. You can see we just hit atmosphere. And yeah, we're just going to kind of begin kind of pulling out of the drama. Just gunning it right now to take some of the altitude off. And there we go. So yeah, that's it. It's, you know, the flight model's interesting nowadays. You can definitely cruise around pretty quick and come to, you know, and slow down a lot faster than you used to be able to. So let's switch over. Now I'm going to switch over to nav scan mode, and we are going to you know, pay special attention to our PIERC, or Pierce. I don't know what that really stands for. It's this part of the UI right here. And then, you know, you use, this is kind of where your scan angle is now. So 50 scan is a good place to start. As you can see there, I already have discovered some rocks, which is great. You know, I did a kind of more of a collapse scan to get these icons up here. I'm gonna now, as we get a little closer to these guys, I will be switching over into SCM mode and mining mode. And let's just kind of go in and see what we have here. There's some rocks on the other side of that hill as well. I can see them there. So, pretty cool. Let's go ahead and see what the first rocks of the day bring. This looks like it might be a picker. It's a little guy. And that's a little titanium rock. What about this guy? Look how, that's beautiful how quickly it's scanning now. Holy mackerel, that's a beautiful rock, you guys. That is a 75,000 mass, and almost half of that's gold. That's almost a full mole's worth of gold right there. That's wonderful. Boy, that's nice to see. Taranite at 35%, 15,000 mass rock. I don't think I can break this rock. I'm gonna try. I don't think I can though. You know, to be honest with you, I think this is is gonna be out of my range. But let's just see. Let's just see what happens. I'm not expecting to be able to break this, but I thought, let's just at least put the laser on it and see if we get any. To do that. See if I get real close, anything? Nah, I didn't think so. 15,000, that may have been a mass I would have been able to break with the helix, but, you know, once again, that's just the trade-off. You know, you have a little more comfortable laser for secondary breaks, not quite as much power on the front side, so cool. Let's go take a look at these ones. They're pretty close. So 35% was a little lower than I normally like to go with, but it had a good mass, so you never do know. If I could have broke it, you know, maybe would have got a couple nice pieces out of there. So, cool. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at what we have there. That's Hofstede. We have 713 mass right here. This is going to be an aluminum rock. Not great. Right, what do we got here? Quartzite deposit. 2200 mass rock. Ooh, half that's Bexalite. Alright, well, we'll break that. Unless it's, a, you know, I'll see if it's a picker, but I don't think it is, actually. Good mass here. This is looking like, that's an agricium rock. So, yeah, you know, not a tremendous amount to get here. Don't believe this is a picker. It's definitely not. Let me go ahead and take the laser power down here. So I'm gonna start with I'm gonna get into the optimal range, which is here, and I'll give it about, yeah, that's what I was thinking. You know, even 10 or 12% probably was gonna. And this is where this laser is gonna shine in little breaks like this. You know, and you do find a lot of these smaller rocks on Cellin. It's a 1 to 3 max index, and so while there's not a ton of stuff in here, there is 7 SCU of Bexalite in here for sure. And, you know, that's a good place to start, so. Alright, we're kind of, this should work its way into the green now. Cool. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Alright. So we'll switch right to extraction mode. And we are off to the races this morning here. Let's see what, you know, 5% Bex is not going to cut it for us, though. We're not going to pull that guy on board. What about this fella? 82% Bex. That's a little more in the wheelhouse. That's what we're looking for. And let's see how has the rock shift here. Let's see what we have. That's a 50-50 ball. What do we have here? 3% Bex. So that, I'm hoping, means that this other piece has a pretty good quantity of Bex in it. Yeah, this is how I would have expected it to be. So extraction mode. You know, I've noticed. I mean, the laser doesn't point at the cursor; it points slightly below it. So you do have to be a little careful with that nowadays. Now here's another couple of rocks on the interior of this. Oh, that guy fell on top of it. Get out of there, you dirty rat! There we go. Look at that. That worked out. Alright, there's a 105. What do we got here? Only 19% Bex, but there's this other last little piece here. And that's a 43. So, I will probably, let's just think about this. How big is this? It's not big. I'll probably extract these two that are kind of more 50-50 balls and we'll call it good. It's not that much to worry about. And I think we're going to leave the 3. We'll leave the 19. And what do we have here? We'll leave the 6, okay? So that's that is us. I don't know. Let's take a look here. That was Hofstede. What else was in this rock field here? Okay. Aluminum. Okay, cool. All right, off to the races we go. So, kind of a reset, right? We're going to go right back into nav scan mode. Drop the scan to 50%, ping out, and see what we get. Right there's a nice RS signature value of a little over 10,000, I thought it said. Yeah, and there's some rocks right there. Let's head on over. So, I'll stay in nav scan or nav flight mode, but mostly nav scan mode, as you can imagine. And then as you begin to approach the rocks, you see them kind of begin to draw there. Right around this time, I'll kind of just turn it into nav scan, pull the mining laser back out, and as I'm kind of slowing, kind of get myself in a position to get these next rocks scanned. Look at that beautiful ridgeline up there along Cellin. It's Star Citizen has been running great. I really am very impressed with the latest state of the game. Kudos on CIG. That it's been a happier place for sure. As far as we did some messing around with some of the engineering gameplay last night, and that was a ton of fun. You can see really what the good news is. You can see what the potential is. I mean, I think somebody mentioned last night they felt like it was a little over-tuned, like things broke a little too easy, and that probably is the case. But it was just tons of fun. Holy mackerel. So, alright, there's a 438 mass rock here. Nothing to write home about. Some agricium. And what do we have here? We got another quartzite deposit here. 1707 mass. That is a Hofstede rock as well. What about this big boy? Good mass, 8721. Certainly in our wheelhouse. Also a Hofstede rock, though. So nothing we would mind. So, off we go. Back into... back into nav scan mode. And easy for me to say. And off we go. Some more scanning here. And we're just going to send out some pings here and see what the day brings. All right, we got a little... Something's kicking us back over here. Hey, all right, let's go take a look at these rocks over this way. I love flying over this, these ridges, and so fun. All right, here we go. B. M. Probably a little premature there. We are on our way in. What do we have here? That's a 28,000 mass rock. An igneous deposit. 23% gold. That's probably not going to do it for us. What we have here? We got a... Oh, mass of 20,000 here. Another 32% gold. These look like they're pretty large rocks. These igneous deposits are interesting. Yeah, it's a 30,000 masser for sure. Look at that. 32% quant. That's a nice little chunk change right there. This last little guy here is 28,000. Yeah, this was an interesting... This is like a mole... It's like a mole heaven right there. Look at that. That's a 31% quant. I don't know that I've ever... I'll tell you what, that warms the heart right there. You know, if you'd have struck that with two people in a mole would have had a field day right there. And that's a laranite rock. So, yep. Smooth transition right back to nav scan. Send out a ping. Oh, there's our next signature. Collapse that pierce and boom. Oh, that's a single. You can see that's a single. That's going to end up being gems, right? So that's how we can tell if it's not a bunch of different things, it's gems. No big deal there. So we're going to keep on here's our next ARA signature value. Bang. Looks like there's a couple over this way. Let's head on over that way. All right. I still fumble a little bit, but, you know, I'm kind of bouncing between the modes. You know, some days are better than others. I'm getting there, though. Building that muscle memory. Good mass on that rock for what we have on board right now. 44% Bex. We will definitely be mining that. That is a very nice rock. What is the mass here? Another one in our wheelhouse. If it has, yeah, 43% Bex. So this is, we've kind of stumbled on the reverse of what we had the last time. 4,000 mass rock there. Let's cross our fingers. Ooh, 24% Bex. Probably won't break that one. It would probably break a little too unclean. Here's a little picker. Yep, little titanium rock. Now, what's this guy here? This is going to be our last one that we're looking at. But we have some rocks to break, and that's great. 7,000 mass rock. Beautiful. And 36% Taranite. So, yeah, I mean, this is us. These are some nice ones. So that's I think this one had a little higher percentage, 44%. Yeah, let's go ahead and start here. So I'm going to switch over into fracturing mode. I'm going to put myself in the optimal range. And this is what I mean by the optimal range, like right up in here. And I'm just going to fire this laser. And at 10%, I'm not getting any climb. What about let's say 20? No problem. All right, I'm just gonna say I'm looking for a moment when I get a little climb here. It looks like at 35, I'm gonna get that climb. When it gets into the green, I'll probably roll it back to 25, and we'll see where we go from there. I'm gonna inch forward a little bit, put it in perfect optimal. And that's one of the reasons why you bring the Hofstede. Is because it just shines in these situations where you find littler rocks. You know, it's not that you can't break these with the Helix, you sure can, but it's far more comfortable, and it's actually just far more fun with this when you find this size rock. 6,000-7,000 mass rocks are, you know, really, really easy breaks with the Hofstede, and then, you know, just comfortable. What do we have here now? Doing some scooping. Alright, well that's good. That's a 3% Bex. The mixer here is titanium, which is perfect. You know, that's got that 0.9 cluster value. Alright, that's 34% Bex. We're going to prioritize, you know, getting higher percentages because we have a couple of different rocks here. And that is 91% Bex. That's kind of what we're looking for. That's closer to what we want to bring on board. What do we have here? 835 mass. And another 92% Bex. This is what I'm talking about as far as, you know, kind of prioritizing, finding nice rocks like that. You know, some of these won't be as good. We've gotten a couple of real high percentages. But a lot of that rock was 73. We'll take it. That's a solid. So this rock broke real nice. The rest of this is primarily not going to be great. But we'll see. Half that rock was Bexalite, but we've hauled on pretty good. We've got a good mixer going here. That's a 33. I would expect the rest of these to be pretty low. Yep, there's a 23. There's a 7. Yeah, so, and there's a 34. So we have one to go back to if we want. Here is our next 43% Bexalite. I will switch here. This is not going to take nearly as much power, though, so I'm going to drop this down to about a 20. And I would actually expect to climb on this even at 20. But we'll see. Yeah, that's what I was saying. You can see here. I would have expected to climb for sure. So, you know, good moment to, you know, sip a little coffee and absolutely keep an eye on just, you know, what we have going on here. Now, I could, you know, always crank it up to, like, you know, crank it up a couple percent if I wanted it to climb, you know, even faster. And I do. So I did. It's funny how sometimes a couple percent can be the difference between, you know, it really kind of breaking loose and now that we're kind of here, I'm going to drop it down to about 15 as soon as it gets into the green. Yeah, I dropped it a little lower than I wanted to. Now I'm back at 17. Let's see what happens. I got a little too aggressive with my scale back game. I pushed the 18 into 19. That should start pushing it in. It is. Alright, dropped it back down to 17. This is probably where I'm going to ride it out. Between 17 and 18. Easy break. Alright. Little 410 mass right there. 35% Bex. We'll let that guy be. There we've got a couple 35%ers on the ground that we know about. 19%. Let's see what the rest of these are. We're looking for things that are... I'd really like to go north of 70 as much as I can. You can't always. Well, in this case, we'll take the 100% Bexalite. Yeah, that'll be all right. Love it. And we're about half full on the Prospector, you know. Wow, another 100%er. That broke clean. That broke real clean. Now, obviously, all this won't be anywhere near 100%. Some of this, one of these is probably going to be at least. Yeah, that's 5. That makes sense to me. Yeah, I was going to say, one of these is going to be, you know, a little lower. This last one in the ground here, I don't think, it's really by the numbers, I can't imagine this is going to have a whole lot of Bex in it, in my head. Yeah, 100% titanium, so that makes sense. So here's always the question, you know, it's like, you know, here's what I will do. I will break this rock. Let's just give it an opportunity to give us something. You know, let's go ahead and I'll get in range here. This rock's about the same as the last one, except for it's much lower percentage. This 24%er. My expectation is there isn't going to be a super... I mean, because it's titanium and it's a clumping second, you know what I mean? There's always a chance that you'll get something out of this, and we've got a heck of a good run going right now. We've only got 5 SCU of trash on board, and 25 SCU of a tier 1. So we've got a healthy run going here. Something I'm pretty proud of. Let's just kind of keep it going. Easy break. This Hofstede is like, you know, it's just it's just a really soft laser. It's really easy. It's kind of easy mode as far as when you find the right stuff in your wheelhouse. So we're not sure. We're hoping that one of these rocks, you know, has a decent percentage of Bex, and a 31 is like I've got 2 35s and a 31 on the ground now. But the question is, do I want to pull those in? And I don't really. 32. Yeah, this is what happens, right? There's a chance one of these There's a chance one of these has a high percentage of Bex in it. You know, like a 60 or something, and I would pull that in. I normally wouldn't break that rock, but you know, we were here, and yeah, 32. It's given it's. I think this is the last chance here. Is there one that broke with anything north of 30? Yeah, 10. Nope. And then what was this fellow? Oh yeah, this was that Taranite rock at 36%. So yeah, that's right. Let's break this guy now. All right. So this rock is going to be a little different. Let's go ahead and I'll take the oh hey, laser. Laser was doing great. We're in good range at 32%. I'm just kind of getting a sense of what it's going to do here. I'll take it up to 35. I am looking for that. I want it to kind of head up, but you know, not uncontrollably. So looks like 37 and 38 is something. 40 or so is going to be that choice. Right. As soon as it gets in the green, I'm going to roll it back to, you know, just kind of roll it back a little bit. It did fall out at 30, so I'll go right back to 32. Right back it went in. Actually, we're holding just fine. I'm actually going to crank it up 1 more percent. Yeah, beautiful. Oh, that's weird. I took a little damage there. I wasn't in any range where you'd think I would have taken damage, but it can happen. So that's 13% Taranite there. Of course, we're looking for anything that's, you know, hopefully north of 70. There's a 50-50 ball. What do we have here? 10%. All right. Well, that's looking like there's going to be some decent percentages in these last 3 then. Yeah, that's definitely acceptable at 68%. We'll pull that on board. And now we're up over a full cargo load of a Prospector, but we've got the extra bags on. There's a 31. And this should be in my mind, this should be a pretty okay one. 13. No, so I don't think there's another rock down there I can't see. What was this one? A 50-50 ball, huh? All right, well, I'll pull that 50-50 ball on. I'm at 36 SCU. Right now, what am I at? I've really got a solid 28 run going. You know, I think I'm going to probably, the best thing to do actually would be to come and take these 34%, just top off with these. I mean, I could potentially find a slightly more pure breaks, but I have a couple of 35s on the ground here, and really, you know, they're not perfect, but they're not terrible. That's a 23, 32, 31, 32, I would prioritize whichever one was the best. 100% titanium, 4. 35. Okay, well that's where we're going first. And this 30, there's another 32, yeah. This will top us off. So we did pretty good here. We actually ended up with a 32 SEU run of tier 1. You know, not bad at all. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna put us in nav. I'm gonna actually switch us back to nav QTM. We are going to head. I'm gonna go ahead and F2, and we're gonna head towards. I'm gonna type in AMB. It's gonna hit the ambitious dream station. We'll set a route. Off we go. And really, that's almost right on the numbers exactly. I like to, you know, when you have the 48 SCU bags, I like to aim for around 32 SCU of pure tier 1, and that's about where we ended up. I mean, you know, this is a very, very run-of-the-mill prospector run. What you've seen here today, it's really almost the quintessential kind of prospector run. So we'll fly in here. I'll get you the half values, and then, you know, I'll set the refining process, and we'll talk about final numbers here. In we go. Headed towards CRUL1. Now, one of the things I will caution you is I'm just bringing this to CRUL1. My load is mostly Bexalite. You know, there is a station that I believe has plus 6% Bexalite. And so, you know, I'm not bringing this to the, you know, probably the best refinery, but I fly out of CRUL1. So I will mention, you know, if you can always take that, you know, when you have 3,200 units and you get an additional 6%, you know, it could, you know, that actually can be quite a lot. So, you know, just as, especially if you have a mole, right? If you have a mole that's got 60 or 70 SU of Bex on it, you might consider hauling it to that, you know, you almost offset your entire refinery costs, you know. But, you know, I'll take a little bit of a hit on this Bex at CRUL1, but it is what it is. I mean, at some point, you know, you have to make it, you know, your own decisions or whatever. And, you know, right now, for the sake of the video, so flying it all the way out there is not a great idea. But, you know, like I said, when I've had really good mole runs where I've had 60 or 70 SCU, it's definitely worth the flight over there. I mean, it's, you know, it can be quite a bit of money. All right. I'm going to switch into nav flight. We're going to come on in here at a pretty reasonable clip. Around 350, 360. Actually 370 or so. We're going to kind of move on in here. And as soon as we get in range, we'll, you know, kind of call for a hangar and take care of business. I'll tell you, at CRUL1, if I've made this flight once, I've made it probably a couple thousand times, just bringing in a load of whatever and to the refinery here. It's it really is. This is how I like Star Citizen. You know, it's a nice, beautiful, simple run. You know, to go grab a little something or another. I really am looking forward someday to your manufacturing and your, you know, and base building and those types of things, when all the resources that we collect are going to be critical towards the construction of things. I'm really looking forward to that. I think that's going to be great. I'm going to roll my VTOLs now. I am going to lower my speed a touch, so I'm not coming in at too big of a clip. I am in nav flight. I'm kind of taking some of the speed off now. Yeah, we're headed in here quite beautifully. Very simple. I'm never in too much of a hurry in my industrial ships. You know, I obviously want to do all the right stuff. Dropping my gear now. And in we go. Love that landing. Very smooth. Landing is one of those things that starts. It's like a mini game unto itself. You gotta love a good landing. It's, the dynamics of that have changed a little with the way that the landing gear now kind of sets your SCM to 30. I mean, it's almost like it's kind of, they're training us to... Oh, let's get this over. Let me out. Alright, awesome. Let's head on down and let's see what we did here. Now, my best guess would be, I don't know, somewhere between 80 and 100,000 will be what our half value is. Maybe, maybe 100,000, and that's fine. That means by the time you do this run, you'll make a couple 100,000. But we'll see. We'll see what the numbers are in here in just a sec. Let's go ahead and get the prospector stored. Bam. All right, and in we go. Run on down here to the old refinery. Awesome. And these runs are normally 45 minutes, an hour, around that. Sometimes they can be a little faster. Obviously, when you have the 48 SCU bags, you're out there a little longer, which is great. They've been noticing some leaks in processing, so we, want to make sure we stay out of that. All right, I always like to look at the half value for something like this. Something I enjoy doing, and I don't... There we go. Oh yeah, so that's what I would have expected, 103,000. So, 206 is, but we're going to have to take, if we begin a work order here, we're going to have to set up the work order here, and, oh, I selected the wrong prospector, I guess. Yeah, I did. So here we go. We got a Bexalite. We've got our Taranite. I am going to choose the Dynex Solvenation. We're going to get a quote. You can take, it's going to take 39, so it's about 12,000 off. So we were 103, so 206. So 100 and, basically around 190, I think 4,000 would what we would have made on that run. As long as, I can kind of get it processed and get it in here. So, yeah, I mean, I could not have really planned a more quintessential day in the life run. That was right down the middle, exactly how your basic prospector runs go. It wasn't extraordinary, but it was solid. And really, that's what I love about these videos. You kind of never know what you're going to get. Anyways, thank you so much. I hope you're all doing well. I hope that this served as a little bit of a give you an idea what mining in Star Citizen's like, and that's what I like to do. So I hope that you're all doing well. Please take care of yourself. Enjoy 321.1, and I will see you all around the verse.